Good morning, friends. So today we are going to discuss about some multiple choice questions for the balance of payment portion. It is actually taken from O-level past paper file. So I have already uploaded a set of questions for the balance of payment in your Google Classroom. So you can check it with that. And here I have selected some 5 questions to discuss. So let's check. First question. In 2010, Vietnam experienced a deficit in the value of its trading goods, that means visible trade account, despite exporting a greater number of goods than it's imported. Actually, Vietnam is exporting more number of goods than it's imported. Then why Vietnam is experiencing a deficit? What could explain this? That is a question. Okay. The average price of the good is imported exceeds the average price of its goods exported. First option they are saying that average price of its good imported exceeds the average price of its goods exported. They are saying that imported price is greater than the exported price. That's why Vietnam is experiencing the deficit. Second option, the average value of its goods exported exceeds the average value of goods imported. They are saying that the average value of good exported is greater than the value of good imported. That's why there exists a deficit, they are saying. Okay. Then option C says the country had a deficit on its trading service. They are saying that particular country will have a trading service goods deficit. And option D, the country's government imposed a tariff on imports. So these are the 4 options they given. In this question is very simple if you read it and understand it very clearly. Okay, let's check the answer how it came. So here in 2010 the same question I have just given, and what could be explained? They given export and import. So you can see it here. I just made a table to make you guys understand very easily. So here it's export and import. Average price I just taken as an example, $10, and import price is $100. And the quantity, export quantity is greater, they said, the value of its goods are traded. Okay. Then despite exporting greater number, that's why I given a exporting goods is 1000 than it's imported. That means import is less, so that's why I taken as a 500. And the average price I taken as a $10 and a $100. Then when you check the value means what? Price into quantity. Okay. So when we can check that the value of export is $10,000 and value of import is how much? $50,000. So balance of payment is deficit. So the first statement they said the Vietnam has experienced the deficit. Yes, of course, Vietnam has experienced the trading goods deficit. Clear? So in this question we can able to say that first option A is the right answer. Why? Because average price of its goods imported exceeds the average price of the goods exported. So listen, import price is greater here. Then only balance of payment trading goods will become deficit. Because quantity they said that export quantity is greater. Even though balance of payment is deficit, how it will happen? It will happen when you are importing more number of finished products. For example, just take Maldives as an example. Maldives is exporting tuna and importing iPhone. Just imagine, exporting tuna price will be very cheap, but iPhone price will be very high. So average price of import is greater means balance of payment will become deficit. So that's why option A is right. So you can see it here, average price of goods imported is greater than the average price of export. That's why balance of payment is deficit. Clear? Then why option B is wrong? Option B is wrong because average value of its good exported exceeds the average value of import. Exported value is greater than the imported value means how it will become deficit? It will become surplus. Understood? Deficit means what? Import value is greater. Understood? That's why option B is wrong. Then when it comes to option C, a country had a deficit in trade and service. Actually, this is trade in a visible account, isn't it? Trade in goods. Here, service doesn't need it. In this case, service goods, trading service is not applicable in this case because they are saying that it is trading goods. So that's why option C is wrong. Then the country's government imposed the tariff on the import. Tariff is a trade restriction, isn't it? When you imposing the tariff, what will happen? Import will reduce. Import will reduce means what will happen? The balance of payment will become surplus, isn't it? But listen, but here balance of payment is deficit they said. So that's why that option is wrong. So option A is correct because average price of its goods imported is exceeds. Price of imported good is exceeds the price of exported products. That's why option A is correct. Clear? Then we will go for the second question. So here the table shows the components of Japan's current account balance in trillion yuan for 2001 and 2012. 2 years they given. So you can able to say that they given the four accounts of balance of payment, trading goods, trading service, balance of current transfers, and balance of income. Which balance improved between 2011 and 2012? They given four accounts: balance of current transfers, balance of good, balance of income, and balance of service. So 2 years they given 2011 and 2012. Which one is showing an improvement? Only the question. Which account showing an improvement? Okay, let's check. So I just balanced it here to the difference between this one. That means that here negative 3.62 trillion dollars yuan. Then here negative 0.57 trillion yuan. Then plus 0.09 trillion yuan. This account is showing an improvement. You can able to see a plus sign, isn't it? When you're saying about the difference between these two numbers is a positive. But here also balance of income even negative 0.49. In this case, only balance of current transfers showing a positive thing, isn't it? That means that which balance improved? Which balance improved? Balance of current transfer. Balance of current transfer. Clear? That is a simple calculation. You can able to take the difference and you can able to say it. Which value comes as positive? That is an improvement. Clear? Then next. The diagram shows China's trade between Brazil for 1999 and 2003 in billions of dollars. In billions of dollars they are calculating. With reference to the diagram, what happens to the China's trade balance with the Brazil in 1999 and 2003? The 2 years with the, what will happen? Experiencing a fall in surplus. It experienced a rising deficit. It moved from a deficit to surplus. It moved from surplus to deficit. Okay, let's check. Actually, there the table they given. I just given the value. You can see that 0.9, 2.1, 0.7 and 4.5. With reference to the diagram, what happened to the China's trade balance? They are asking about the trade balance. That means given export and imports of goods and services with Brazil. So, experienced a falling surplus. Actually, trade balance surplus falling. Just to see, that means still now when you're balancing it, in 1999 it's having a surplus, isn't it? But in 2003 it doesn't have a surplus. So we can't able to say a falling surplus. Actually, because 2003 it is not a surplus, then how you can able to say a falling surplus? Clear? That's why option A is wrong. Then experience a rising deficit. Actually, rising deficit also we can't able to say. Why? Because in 1999 it is a surplus. Then how we can able to say that rising deficit is rising? We can't able to say because 1999 balance of payment is, sorry, current trade balance is surplus. Then option C, it moved from deficit to surplus. Actually, it is previously it was surplus to deficit, not a deficit to surplus. Clear? In 99 it was surplus. So it is surplus to deficit, not a deficit to surplus. So that's why option D is right. It moved from surplus to deficit. In previously it was a surplus of 0.2 and now it is a deficit of minus 2.4. So we are moved from surplus to deficit. Japanese trade balance is moved from surplus to deficit. Clear? Then next question. The table shows the information on trading positions of four major economies in 2013. Okay, that is a 4 countries trading position they said. Which country had a strongest trading position? Okay, they given 4 aspects, 3 aspects: current account balance, percentage of GDP, and currency per unit. That means the exchange rate they give. So you can able to check it. $1 is equal to how much? Like that. Okay, so let's check. In this case, answer is B. How it came? Because current account balance is strong. Whereas the current account balance is positive means we can say it is a good. So that's what I denoted as a G. So in these countries, among these 4 countries, 3 countries are in a strong position, strong trading position. That's why their balance of payment is positive, isn't it? Current account is positive, not a balance of payment completely, current account. Then here, UK is need to improve. Why? Because current account is in deficit. Okay. Then deficit or surplus as a percentage of GDP, you can able to see that it is good. Why? Because percentage of GDP is 1.9, but here it is a percentage of GDP is very high because 6.4% of GDP is surplus. Wow, that is really amazing. So we can able to say that that is very good. Then here you can able to say that positive 1%. It's okay, no problem. We can able to say good. But here it is negative, so it is not good. So that's what I have denoted as an N. Need to improve. Then exchange rate. Actually, here it is not good. Why? Because exchange rate is very high. Currency is appreciated. If currency is appreciated means it doesn't mean that you are in the strongest trading position. Because when your currency value is very high, export price will be very high. That may leads to fall in the demand for export. That's why I said it is need to improve. But in second case, it is very less. We can able to say that export price is less. Export price is less. That means because currency is depreciated means what will happen? Export price will fall. So that is good. So in these 3 cases, when you are checking, only country Germany having a good. For example, first country China, in this currency value case, they need to improve. But in the case of Japan, here they need to improve. Why? Because currency appreciated very high. 79.4. That means the export price will be very high, means extremely high. But here we can able to see that it is okay, good. So here comparing this one, only country B having a strong trading position because in these 3 aspects that particular Germany is performing well. That's why. Clear? Then next question. So here the table shows the trade in goods balance and the current account balance of the balance of payment for 4 countries during a year. They given trade in goods balance and current account balance, completely current account. We already know that current account having how many accounts? 4 accounts. Trade in goods, trade in services, then current transfers and income flows, isn't it? So which country had the largest surplus? Listen, largest surplus on its trading service. Assuming on other transfer or income flows, there is no other. That means that there is no transfer and income flows. They are assumed to be constant or a zero. We will not consider those 2 accounts. We have to be consider only trading goods and trading service. Actually, trading goods plus trading service equal to current balance, isn't it? So how we can able to check? So in this question, we already see that balance of payment will have a 4 account. We already knows that trading goods, trading services, transfers, current transfers and income flows. In that one, current transfers and income flows are not there. So 2 accounts only, trading goods and trading service. If you add these 2 accounts, you will be get a current account balance. You can able to, we already know that. So how we can able to find out the trading service means we have to minus current account minus trading goods means we will be get a current account service. So 6.2 minus 6.2 is 0. 4.3 minus 4.4 is equal to minus 0.1. 7.6 minus 7.8 that is minus 0.2. 5.4 minus 5.3 that is 0.1. Then question is that which country had the largest surplus on trading service? So you have to be checking trading service in which one is the largest. Yes, country Singapore is the largest. We got the idea. So that's what I said. Option D is correct. So these are the, I selected some questions. I will feel that it is difficult for you guys. That's what I selected. So remaining are 30 questions. MCQ paper I already uploaded in the Google Classroom. So you have to answer. After watching this video, you have to go there and you have to answer it and you have to submit it. Clear? So thank you. Bye.